Good morning. It'll be time to go to work for me pretty soon. It's about almost 2:30 in the morning here in Maryland, and I am making this video, first one of the day, the subject of which is pretty random. As you can see by looking at the window behind me, it's still dark outside. That's when I go to work, when it's still dark, and I come home, it's light. Seems like that's a never-ending cycle for me. When I think about my Air Force career, sometimes I think about the places that I went and the things that I did and I helped this country do. And I believe that it takes a little bit of time to put it in perspective. In the end, what we're doing it is our own personal self-interest. What this country does is for its own best self-interest, it thinks anyway. Now the question is, are the two concurrent wars going on in Iraq and Afghanistan, because the war in Iraq isn't over yet? Are these wars in our best self-interests? And in the long run, who knows, it may turn out okay and everything will just be hunky-dory and we won't even talk about it. But we need to keep in mind what the cost of a tank of gas really is, and think about our past progress and our activities in other countries where we have overthrown governments, installed right-wing dictatorships so that we could maintain locations for forward operating bases and access to the raw materials and supplies that we need to keep our economy running. And that requires a certain amount of piracy and denial of the fact that we're breaking international law. We can do that because we're the most powerful nation on earth. It doesn't really make any difference what anybody thinks about it. We'll just do whatever we want to. And that may come to an end soon. Who knows? But right now it doesn't look like that it is going to come to an end. It's a strange thing about empires. They continue until eventually, for some reason, one day they collapse. Some people say that they choose to collapse because they get too complicated, they get too intricate, they install too many programs that cost too much of the resources that are available, and the assumption that they can please everybody so that they can maintain we can maintain our forward march. But that's just not possible. It's something that's not going to work. We will rot from the inside, no doubt, and that's how it will end for us. As far as our military is concerned, it will not be defeated face on, and it never has been since the end of World War II. Our military has been ordered to go places, stay for a while, stayed as long as it was told, and then when it was told to pull out, it did. It didn't get pulled out because we were militarily defeated. We were pulled out because our commander-in-chief said, okay, it's time to pull out. So we need to keep that in mind. The fact that the continuing wars will continue forever for the foreseeable future, I have no doubt about that. Now, sometimes I go back in the other direction now. Yeah, we have been defeated, and you have to take military action as a total action coordination between government and military and public diplomacy, as Reagan called it. And during the Ronald Reagan period, they established this Department of Public Diplomacy to basically brainwash the public and put the best face on the Contra War in Nicaragua. And hopefully not too many people would get fired up about the fact that we were committing what was adjudged to be an international crime. So we have done things since the end of World War II that we hung Nazis for and Japanese generals for in their behavior during the war, and we have committed the same behavior. We just put a better face on it, use a little bit better PR, and convince people that it's not really so bad. And besides, we all have a big screen TV. We have plenty of gas to burn in our SUVs. It's just that you don't want to think about what the price of a tank of gas is and what happens somewhere down the line back in a third world country where a right-wing dictatorship or a corrupt democratic government is installed, well bribed, paid for, with a competent, well-armed bodyguard. Once you crank over that engine, what is happening to the people under the thumb of those governments somewhere down the line? Something to think about. Maybe I'm not expressing it right, but I think you all ought to take a look at it. Be careful what you wish for, because it costs somebody else an awful lot.